Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Derek Carr met with reporters. And Nick Underhill had a little bit of a, I don't want to say a back and forth with Derek Carr, but he asked him about the red zone struggles, and I think we've all talked about this plenty, and it's not something that's new to Derek Carr this year. This has been something that has been a narrative, not just a narrative, it's been factual. It's been an issue throughout his entire career where he has struggled in the red zone. And that's been a problem this year, and it really came to a head this past week against Atlanta, where the Saints were 0 for 5 in the red zone. It's stunning inability, just a stunning inability to convert for a professional team with as much resources as the Saints have invested in their offense, and to get that close that many times and to continue to be rebuffed and to settle for 5 field goals. Anyway, and you turned it over a couple times in the red zone as well, but I want to play for you the interaction, because you're going to hear Derek Carr, you're going to hear the question from Nick, and you'll hear Derek Carr's response about what they're doing sort of to fix the red zone issues. Then we'll come back and talk about it. So here was that interaction.
How do you weigh that, though? Like, when you guys are moving the ball, but you aren't moving it in the last 20. Like, how do you marry those two thoughts together?
I don't know, man. You got to ask Coach Pete and DA. Myself, when you ask us, we're not going to be able to give you all the answers that everyone wants to hear on the things we're trying to work to do better, schematics and player and all those kind of things. And so you're going to keep asking the same question. I'm going to keep giving a lot of words and no answer, because I'm not going to tell you.
So he said, I'm going to keep giving you a lot of words and no answer, because I'm not going to tell you. Okay. First of all, the premise that Derek Carr is saying there is not wrong. To say, I'm going to use a lot of words without giving you an answer because I'm not going to tell you. Because why would anyone give away their strategy? If there's certain things that you are doing to fix the red zone issues, personnel, alignment, play call, whatever, you're not going to disclose that. It doesn't make any sense at all to give away your strategy. Clearly, you're not going to do that. But the really bizarre thing is that every single week, not only in the NFL, but in all sports, we listen to coaches and players give these word salad answers. God bless. I remember when, I don't know if he still does it, but years ago when LeBatard was on ESPN Radio nationally, on Mondays after an NFL Sunday, they would do a bit called the Useless Sound Montage. And they would just collect sound bites from coaches and players all across the NFL, and they would play it with the NFL the NFL Films theme music behind it. Or maybe it's the ESPN NFL primetime music. Either way, the point was, it was just poking fun at the fact that nobody says anything. So Derek Carr, it's perfectly fine if you don't want to give us your strategy, but it's also kind of dumb to answer it the way you did. To admit, I'm going to use a lot of words and not tell you anything because I'm not going to say anything. You can do it without saying that's what you're doing. We all know. It's like coaches whenever they're asked about a job. We talk about it all the time. You have the denial, the non-denial, and the non-denial denial. You can say a lot without saying anything. That's the non-denial. Denial. This is what's undeniable, though. When you look at quarterbacks in the red zone, Derek Carr is 25th in the NFL this year in red zone conversion among starting quarterbacks. It's just not good. I don't know any other way to say it. The Saints are a bad red zone team. It's not just a fabrication. It's not your imagination. It's not mine. It bears out, and we've seen it throughout this season, and we've seen it for a decade with Derek Carr. That's just what they are. That's what he is. So, I respect dodging a question, but you don't dodge a question by saying, I'm going to dodge the question. In any event, Derek Carr, when he met with reporters, though, was asked. He was asked, number 6, please, if you have it, about sort of the mindset of the team right now coming off that loss to Atlanta, where they're 5-6.
It's not as sad as it is out here. I can promise you that. We are super positive. Practice was great. The meetings have been great. You can feel the frustration, but in a good way, in a way like, all right, well, this is what I need to do. You know, everyone is laid out, every coach telling every guy, this is what you got to do this week to help us win and all this kind of stuff. And everyone knows their responsibility, and you saw a lot of guys doing those things today. And so, again, it hasn't been what we wanted it to be up to this point, but we still got time.
And the other thing, of course, is like to say you still got time is true. I mean, you're 5-6, you're tied with Atlanta for first place in the division. We all know that right now. You're down in the tiebreaker, but you've got a month here to make it up. It's with 6 games to play, you have time to overcome this deficit. It's just I don't know that anyone has great confidence that they're going to be able to do it because they just haven't found that consistency at all. And that is the nature and the definition of an inconsistent team. It's the 1 step forward, 2 steps back. You just never string together wins. The Saints started the game with back-to-back wins, then lost 2, then 1-1, then lost 2, then 1-2, then lost 2. That's the nature of how this goes. And this week you got to play Detroit, and the Detroit team that is one of the best offensive teams in football. And Derek Carr was asked about the Detroit defense and that challenge.
Really good. They play hard. They got really good front, really good front 7, I should say. Secondary plays well together, and the things that Coach Aaron Glenn is asking them to do. And I've known him since I was running routes on him since I was 13 years old after practices, and he's always been a smart guy. None of my routes worked against him when I was a kid. So he does a good job of coaching those guys and understanding how to change certain things and little tweaks of their system and little tweaks of their scheme to try and win that week. And so they're doing a fantastic job, obviously, with their record and all those kind of things. So, again, it'll be another tough week for us.
For whatever it's worth, the Detroit defense is 24th in the NFL in scoring. So while Detroit's offense has been really good, they're top 10 in everything, the defense at times has been susceptible. Look, they gave up 29 points at home to Green Bay. I'm sorry, at Green Bay. When they went on the road to Green Bay in Week 4, they won that game 34-20. But you look at the points that defense has given up at times this year. They gave up 37 against Seattle. They gave up 38 at Baltimore. They gave up 38 at L.A. in a game they won 41-38. My point is, Detroit's offense is very good. The defense has been susceptible, and a couple of times on the road. As I mentioned, giving up 38 at the Ravens, giving up 38 at the Chargers. There are plays to be had offensively if this offense can get into gear. Although Derek Carr is going to have to do it this week, quite possibly without his top 3 wide receivers. We'll wait and see how that trends as we get closer to Sunday. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.